And we're very delighted to have with us live from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Stas Venglevski, who is a virtuoso accordionist who has performed all over the world and is from Moldova. Stas, it's very delightful to have you here.
Good to be here, Steve. Yeah, you say organist. It's kind of not. It's kind of correct because we call accordion it's miniature organ,
I
so it's
see,
a real
that's right.
instrument. So you're not wrong by saying that.
Now, was the accordion your original instrument? Did you begin your life as a young child playing the accordion?
Yes, this is my was very first instrument. I started when I was 5 years old and playing since. Yeah.
Now, 5 years old, it must have been a small instrument.
Yeah, they had different sizes, like violins. They have quarter
Right,
size, eight size.
right,
Yeah, so I had very small one, not super small, but enough for kid to handle it very well.
right. I see. And so and you must have had teachers, obviously, as a 5-year-old, teaching accordion. Is the accordion a popular instrument in Moldova?
Uh, when I grew up, it was former Soviet Union. We had like the big country, and there always each republic was related. Moldova, Ukraine, and all it was under Soviet Union umbrella. So and it was very popular and was taken very seriously throughout the Soviet Union. And if you're interested in accordion, you have talent, you easily can go in any village to sign for music school for 5 years, and you can go to college, and then conservatory, or I went to Institute of Gnesing. It was very accessible for government sponsored everything, and it was if you have talent, you go to this step by step. Yeah.
And you're a graduate of the Russian Academy of Music in Moscow, so you got your undergraduate degree there.
Yes, master's degree. Yeah.
You got a master's degree,
Yeah.
and since then you've been touring everywhere. Of course, in the Soviet Union, according to you, Canada, throughout Europe, and the United States. And now, are you living in Milwaukee now?
Yes, since 1992. This is
Oh, is
my
that right?
home. Yeah, now.
Uh-huh. And how did you happen to pick Milwaukee?
Well, right after I graduated Academy of Music with my family, I moved here. Got opportunity to leave Soviet Union and start my journey here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This was brilliant opportunity. Then I become citizen after a while, and yeah, do what I do now.
Uh-huh. And now, very interestingly, it says that you've had numerous performances, of course, but including Doc Severinsen, Steve Allen, and you appeared with Garrison Keillor on the Prairie Home Companion. Now, the of the three names, the one that surprised me was Steve Allen because that must have been some time ago. Tell us about meeting Steve Allen. For those who don't know, he was the original host of the Tonight Show, and a very wonderful, talented, gifted pianist and host.
Around, I think it was 1996 or 1997, when I had no clue who Steve Allen is. When my friend mentioned his name, he's going to be in town and doing benefit concert for some Hispanic school.
Hmm.
And they asked me to be part of his show. They talked to Steve Allen, and he said, "Yeah, bring him on. He can play a few numbers." He introduced me. I had no clue who Steve Allen. Honestly, I mean, I was new in this country, and like you said, he is like a long time ago. He was founder of Tonight Show or something. So after I played few numbers, of course, he introduced me. He made few jokes. He was mesmerized with my instrument, what I do, and we become kind of really good friends. I would say that. Then every time he comes to Milwaukee, he used to come like every other year or so, and he was like, "Call Stas," and I want him in my show. And after that first performance, we went out to eat, and he said, "If I would be now hosting Tonight Show, you would be weekly guest on my show." So, and then he went home and he wrote letters to Jelena, Prairie Home Companion, Oprah, David Letterman, and just asking them to have me at the show because he thought I'm talented and he write good letters. He was so smart man. So, and then everybody replied to him, like, with the reason we cannot have him, or some people, but the only of all Prairie Home Companion wrote me a letter and cordially invited me. And that's when I got to play with, Prairie Home Companion. Yeah, Garrison Keillor.
Yes, and where was that performance in
It was in
Garrison?
Madison, yeah, and not far
Madison.
from Milwaukee. And
That's right.
Garrison Keillor, he very was intrigued by my CD, which I produced at that time, The Nutcracker. And he specifically, in addition to my original compositions, he asked me if I could perform few numbers from The Nutcracker. And I agreed. And when I came in, while I'm playing, he was reading stories, about Nutcracker, and his daughter was involved with Nutcracker production. And it was very interesting. I mean, I'm sure it's online, people who wants to go on history of Garrison Keillor. So,
Yes.
and that was a unique experience. It's like live show, like 4.5 million people watching, and it's like it was very kind of tension.
It's
Like,
one of the it was one of the most popular programs on public radio in the United States. Now, Stas, one reason that we're interviewing you, I could think of a million, has to do with a recording that you've made with the Orchestra Manhattan, uh, and that's a piece of your own composition, as I understand it. It's a rondo for orchestra and accordion, which will be available soon. Tell us about that piece.
this piece I composed in 2015, and originally it was written for accordion solo, which I was premiered with accordion orchestra, and we performed it and premiered it in Switzerland, Lucerne. And it's titled Rondo Fantasy, virtuoso piece. And after I played at that concert first, and a few times I played in United States with other orchestras, and then it was put it on shelf for a long while. And recently, like last year, I've decided to make arrangement for solo accordion, which I did, and I played few times as a soloist, but it's not the same. So when I met progressive musicians with James, and they approached me and they said, do you have anything with orchestra you can do? And this piece came to my mind right away, and I was not sure if it's going to work with string orchestra. So I sent my score, and they approved. They said, yeah, this should work. And I was very excited to fly to New York and go to studio and hear after a while, not perform my Rondo Fantasy. And it was like, I was blessed, play with this caliber of musicians, Orchestra Manhattan. And we had very limited time to record, like 30 minutes. But we've done it, and it was just, I really look forward to this recording and share with my friends and colleagues around the world. So, very exciting.
It's very exciting, and we'll look forward to the recording. That's a recording for accordion and orchestra. It's an arrangement of your piece for solo accordion, and I'm very eager to hear it, and I'm very eager to hear your own performances. I'm sure you're all over YouTube,
Yes.
and we can find your performances there. And congratulations on the forthcoming album, and thank you very much for joining us from Milwaukee. That's Stas Venglevski, a virtuoso accordionist, and we're happy to have you. And good luck to all your
Okay.
future endeavors.
Thank you very much, Steve. Good to
Thank you,
meet you.
Stas. Good to meet you.